Special thank you to our sponsors, the Alzheimer's Association and Haugen's Gallery. For more information on the Alzheimer's Association and how to donate to this outstanding cause, go to alz.org. And for more information on Haugen's Gallery, go to haugensgallery.com. Hey, everybody. I am so excited. It is an exciting Thursday. I am ready to roll. I was just talking to my wonderful guest. It's only 4 p.m. on the West Coast, so I still have some energy. If I was going a few hours later, I may not have as much, so I'm going to help them out today. A few of them are on East Coast time, so got to get that energy flowing. But you know what? I am super excited that I can be here with you today on Russ Reels Live. And, I love this show because it is very topic driven. It floats around. This is my non-consistent show. So it's not always at the same day, the same time. And it's not always the same number of guests or exactly the topic. So today we are talking community building. And I think this is one of the most important topics out there for your business, for your life, is building good community. So I'm super excited today to talk about this and bring them all in. But before I do that, I want to remind you who I am. So if you're new to my live streams, my name is Russ Hedge, and I am an inspiration specialist. I am a marketing coach, keynote speaker. I am a live streamer and a live stream producer, and I love this medium. I love live streaming. I'm all about my real purpose and my why in life is to encourage and inspire you to live a purpose-driven life of significance. And what does that mean? It means I want you to be a world changer. I want you to be a difference maker. I want you to get out there and use the gifts and talents that God has given you to do amazing things. And I believe with all my heart that's true, that you are amazing. You have amazing within you. You just have to let it out. So if I can encourage you to do that, go to russhedge.com. That's russhedge.com. And if I was really slick and quick, I would have already had that up on the screen. There we go, russhedge.com. And you can get all my connection links there. You can go to my social media, my email, you can get my phone number. You can even schedule time on my calendar to Zoom directly with me. We can talk to each other and get to know each other. I would love to do that. I love to connect. In fact, my goal this year is to connect with 1,000 new people in 2022. And I know that sounds like a daunting number, but really it's only about 3 people a day. And I'm pretty much a crazy connector. So usually I'm doing more than that every day. So I would love for you to be one of those 1,000 new people that I connect with. And if you could just schedule time on my calendar or get in touch with me, we'll set it up. I would love to get to know you. So I am, as you can tell, all about community. I'm all about community building. And that is what, this connection is all about. When we connect to each other and we really, really connect. And what do I mean by that? I mean, where we really get to know people, not just contacting them, but really caring and loving other people and getting to know them is really what connection is all about. And that is how we build community. That's how we help each other out. In this online community that is just developed crazily good over the last couple of years during COVID, there are so many people like these 4 ladies that are coming on today that help other people, that reach out, that love to build community, that love to be part of all that's going on. Collaboration over competition, because that's what it's really all about, is helping each other, because I firmly believe that we are better together. That's right. We are better together. In fact, hang on a sec. Here we go. There we go. Better together. Woo! If you can see it, if I can get it right there. There we go. Okay, never mind. That was just a fun aside. That's my little squirrel for the show. All right. So I think that's enough about me. Don't forget, you can get my book, Befuddled, Live the Life You Choose. If you would like, on Amazon or all online booksellers, hopefully that would help to encourage you as well if I am not there to do it personally. So with all that said, the comments are blowing up. So I'm going to get things started. And I normally say ladies first, but we have all ladies. So we're just going to pick them the order they came in today. First, we've got Holly Jean Jackson. She's coming in the house. Hello, Holly.
Hey, Russ. Good to see you again. It's always a pleasure to be on all of your live streams.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, it's interesting because you and I have actually been friends for quite a while now. And I've done your show, you've done my show, and or shows. You've been on a few of my shows, a couple of them. I think you've been on more than once. And you and Matt are doing great things with D. Scott on the Business Builders Throwdown. There you go. I knew I was going to get it out. There it is, the little ninja community. But hey, why don't you give everybody a quick snapshot into who you are and all that you're up to?
Absolutely. So my name is Holly Jean Jackson. I am a holistic business coach. That means I help health and wellness business owners so that they can reach more clients to heal this world. And we need that more than ever today. I am also the host of the Inspiration Contagion podcast and just released my first book, Inspiration Contagion: Health Secrets for Raving Success, the first of 3 books. I am also the co-host of the Business Builder Throwdown, where we have these awesome ninjas, and we have a community of business builder accelerators, and we call them ninjas because we want that community to be a lot of fun while you learn to scale your business.
Well, and you guys do have a lot of fun. I love the Business Builders Throwdown, if I could say that. It's kind of a tongue twister. And I love Scott's always got the drop down microphone and you've got the boxing gloves on. I love that. I love all that. And you guys do great stuff. Yes. So you're a lot of fun. And I think that's a huge thing. We're going to talk about that today. Business building community should all be all about fun. I think it should be, getting to know people, but enjoying what you're doing. So I'm trying to remember who came in next, but we're going to bring in Nancy number 1. Nancy Barrows coming in the house. Here she is. Whoop, whoop. Hello, Nancy.
Nancy number 1. I don't even know. But we have 2 Nancys and we both have the same last name. So we couldn't the teacher trick didn't work to do the Nancy B thing. But so happy to be here as always. Russ, with you and Holly and Maria and Nancy. It's always exciting for me to be here with you. We always have amazing conversations. And this community, as you said, is just an amazing, uplifting, supportive community. And I always say that getting on LinkedIn, I found a family I didn't know I had and a community I did not know I was missing. So yeah, thank you.
Well, you have built some amazing community with people like Brian and Tim and so many others. Tell everybody a little bit about what you're doing in the shows that you're doing these days.
Sure. So I'm doing a lot. I'm probably doing too much, but I do 2 live shows a week with Brian Schulman, What's Good Wednesday, which is at 6 p.m. Eastern. And it's really about sharing the good, coming out and telling something good, just sharing what we're celebrating, what we're glowing over. And then Shout Out Saturday, which is 9 a.m. on Saturdays, is about reclaiming the kid in all of us. And we shout out one another for, positive things that people have done for us in the week. And we wear our pajamas and we social distance on both shows and we tell our favorite cartoons and serials growing up. And it's just that opportunity to really let go of adulthood for a little while, which is nice. And then I'm bringing back my show, Connected Human Conversations, which airs on Sundays at 5 p.m. Eastern. So that's all the live stuff. In addition to that, I will say, I have a program called The Chick with the Tool Belt. I don't talk about it often, but there you go. Wow. It's all right there. If you get a mouthful there of me.
There it is. That's a lot.
Yes, it's a lot. And there's a lot happening and I'm so grateful for it. Honestly, what I'm most proud of right now, and for different reasons than people may think when they first hear it, is that I was recently named one of LinkedIn's top 50 most impactful people, which is an incredible honor because it is bestowed upon you by your peers. It's peer voted. And why it's so meaningful to me is that I believe it shows others that they can do it. Like, I've been on LinkedIn just over a year, and it was about 13 months when I was named. At the time, I had 2,500 followers. I am not the person that you would think would be on a list like that. And it was all about showing up yep. And creating community and making those true connections and building true relationships so that the people that I was in contact with or got to see my content, I got to engage with their content. It was impactful. It was meaningful. right? I started the Radiating Real movement as a way for us all to take off our masks and show up real. And we're all living life, but we hate to talk about the messy, snotty, unsexy middle parts, even though we all know that happens. And so Radiating Real was about like taking off that mask, be human, show up as you are, and receive unconditional love and unconditional acceptance. And so again, being recognized as, being a small fish in a big pond and knowing that you can have that sort of impact is really why I talk about it, because I want other people to know. Literally, a year, 2,500 people. You can do it too.
Well, you've done amazing things, and we'll talk more about the Radiating Real movement, but I found in being able to be part of that is it's a way to encourage people when you're going through struggles, because everybody goes through it. It's a good way to say, hey, life is just like this. We're talking real life. Life is real. Things happen, but we can stay positive in the midst of that. And another person that's super, super positive, Nancy number 2, Nancy Baki is in the house. Hello, Nancy. How's it going?
Hello. Oh, I'm wonderful. Other than the fact that it's 7 p.m., I'm wonderful. Like I said, I'm only here because it's you, Russ. Lovely to meet Holly and Nancy and Maria. And thanks, Russ, for the invite. Always love hanging out with you. No, I'm here to just have fun with you guys, honestly.
Well, you do that so well, too. And you and I became friends through the Global Tea Break. And we have just really hit it off. And you've been such a positive, helpful person. In fact, I just watched those 3 videos before we came on today. I've had a lot going on lately with, not an excuse, but with my mama and all the stuff going on there. So it's kind of distracted me a little bit. But yeah, I'm getting myself back on track. So I appreciate all that you're doing. But hey, give everybody a snapshot of who you are and what you're up to today.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, I'm since 2007, I am a business growth strategist. What does that mean? I love to help businesses go from wherever they are to where they basically dream of going. Basically, I help businesses double and triple their net within 12 months. But there's a trick. They have to really want it. If they don't really want it, meaning they're ready to do whatever it takes, I can't help them. I do believe that every person that I meet has their own special sparkle, their own potential, their own power that can flourish more than they can expect. And my passion is basically to inspire and make a difference in the success of business owners and business coaches, and help them, take their business, like I said, to where they want to go. And I started a new networking group as well, really brand new. So you guys are the first to hear about it, other than personal calls that I've been having. But basically, I'm cherry picking specific types of businesses that are able to handle new client referrals. And it's really about, networking today. There's a lot of new networking groups that have opened that are just about taking, and people go in just to try to find a client. I'm teaching it more, be more of a giver than a taker. And when you give, you get so much more. So that's the new stuff that's going on.
Yeah, you just said it. It's so true. When you give, you get, because it's just a natural process. Because if your intention is to help and bless others, it comes back to you. And another person is so active on the live streams and social media, and just such a positive, uplifting person is Maria Rouse. She's in the house. Hello,
Hi.
Maria.
How are you guys doing? I am very honored to be here. Nice to meet you, Nancy, too, and Holly. Pleasure to meet both of you, or 3 of you. Hi again, Nancy 1.
Hello, my dear friend. And I apologize. I don't even remember if I said your name earlier when I said that I was on with everybody.
Yes, you did. I think so.
Okay. It's after a certain time, my brain is already shutting down.
Yeah, I know. Me
It's
too.
all right. Well, we're going to keep it moving. We're going to keep the tempo going so the brain stays moving. So, Maria, you are, you are just an amazing person. You're always very uplifting and really reaching out to people. Tell us a little bit about who you are and what you're up to.
Okay, so I'm an employee. Unlike most of you guys are, business owners. I work for the state of California. I'm a public servant. So basically, I do loan closing, which is construction loans and permanent loans for affordable homes here in California. So what we do, we're directly working with developers all throughout the state of California for less fortunate ones, which our target market are homeless people. Because California has second highest of homeless population in the nation. So yeah, I think it's very meaningful because at the end of the day, when you look at it, it's beyond paperwork of what you do. You know who will benefit from the job that you do. So yeah,
Well, and
and
I think,
yeah,
oh,
sorry,
keep
Russ,
going.
go ahead.
No, keep going, keep going.
So I'm I've known Russ from either Brian Schulman's show or Team So, and then later on Nancy, she's very active on or became now a co-producer with Brian Schulman. So yeah, that's how it is.
And I'm used to always seeing your smile on those shows on Shout Out Saturday and What's Good Wednesday. And, you know, what I really find, so you're a public servant, you have a giving heart to start with. But what I really find
Yes,
is you're really always, you're really engaging in all that's going on in the comments and in everything online. And part of building community is really engaging. And
yes,
I see Nancy Barrows nodding. And Nancy, I'm going to throw it to you real quick, and then we're going to bounce to Holly. And that is engagement with building community. How important is that?
It's tremendous, right? It's the piece of walking by and looking through the window or stopping, saying hello and meeting your neighbor. And that engagement gives everyone the opportunity to go back and forth, get to know each other, feel the love and support. Oh gosh, thank you, Mark Lee. I appreciate you. And honestly, you know, when I came on the platform, I didn't know what I was doing and I didn't really know what was what. And I would go to lives and I would see the same people saying hi to each other. Hi, hi, hi. And so I just acted as if I knew everybody and I was supposed to be there. So I would be like, hey, Maria, great to see you. And it just started, like, you become part of the conversation. And here's where people start to share and the radiating real piece comes in. You know, when you see people's posts and you engage in it and you let them know that you truly care and it's something that's thoughtful, it's this digital hug that we can offer one another, you know, especially when people are putting out that authentic, vulnerable content. And as often as I can, I also try to, if I'm commenting and engaging, even on the shows, remember something personal about someone. Really, again, it's like creating a little people file in your head. Start to show interest in
yes,
other people and gather what you know about them, you know,
yes,
so that they know they're important enough to you to remember something about them. And that's true in real life, right? That's what we do in most situations. It's how we do. But engagement, I have the nickname the Queen of Engagement because I am, and I'm trying to do it in the comments here. It's a little harder when I'm on screen, but I
yes,
love to make everyone feel welcome. If you've never been here before, it doesn't matter. If you've been gone for a while, it doesn't matter. We're happy to see you. We're glad you took the time to be here. This is an opportunity for all of us, right? To, again, I thank you for bringing your energy. Thank you for taking the time, and it brings this community together and it creates this family that's
yes,
ever growing. Because if you've done that for someone else, it's highly likely, because of how it made them feel, they will go do it for someone else, and
yes,
then that ripple effect, right? You
yes,
start sharing that with others. And so for me,
yes,
engagement is like the seed of it all. Even if you don't, there are people, I see their content, I don't know them at all, and I'll bravo, this is great. It doesn't matter, right? Or if I see something that touches my heart, I let people know, because we are all a couple of clicks away from being each other's family and community here, and
yes,
just
Yeah,
showing up
yeah.
makes a huge difference.
yes,
Yeah, it is so important, the whole engagement picture. And Nancy, you are the queen of engagement and you do that well. And you can just see from the wonderful community here in the comments and just keep rolling and rolling and rolling in of all the people that really care about each other, because not only are they engaging with us, they're engaging with each other.
Yes.
And I
yes,
agree, Nancy, it's hard to do that when you're actually doing the show. That's why some of us have amazing people that are teammates that work with us that actually do that engaging for me in the background while I'm talking that I could not. Someone told me, "Can you
I
do
was like,
typing
how
while
can he
you're
do
talking?"
that?
I know,
we're all
that's
we're all
amazing.
occupied.
Like,
We all have 8 arms and we're doing a million
Yeah,
things, trying to stay
yeah.
engaged. But
Yeah,
it's
I've definitely got help. I've got help with that. So Holly, you guys with the new mastermind you're doing with the Business Builders Throwdown, you're really building community and trying to drive engagement as well. And just tell us a little bit more how you're doing that.
Yeah, well, first of all, I've been building communities, both physical in-person communities and online communities for over 13 years. In another life in corporate America, I've built them on SharePoint. I built them with Salesforce platforms. So I love building community. And right now, people are desperate for connection. And because sharing these authentic stories is what resonates most when we're talking and having these conversations. Recently, I was at Starbucks and there was this woman talking about something, and I listened to her. And people are so desperate to be seen and heard. So the other person calls me to the front to grab my coffee, and I go grab it. And then I walked back to her and I said, "Did you want to go ahead and finish your story?" And I didn't know this woman. And she was like, she almost started crying. She said, "Thank you
oh,
so much for stopping and listening to me. I have not had human contact with anybody outside of my family for the last 6 months." So people need community and engagement. So the reason we're doing this right now is because we're seeing the statistics and the data tied to isolation and loneliness. And we know that in particular, business owners and entrepreneurs, and especially people on the front lines in health and wellness, they're struggling with solving these problems. They have this extra pressure layered onto them. So in our community, which we call the Business Builder Ninja Accelerator, we try to make it fun. We connect people. They don't have to have all the answers. We do masterminding so that they're not laid up at night, not sleeping, not taking care of their own health, so that they can help even more people in the world and they can be highly successful. So we have some very core values. We have accelerated growth and learning as one of our values. We have fun as another core value, which is why we have these fun little ninja dolls. And
Love
we have
those. Love that.
and we celebrate people's success, because if you're not celebrating progress along the journey, then what's the point of what you're doing? So we're really, really passionate. And if you're interested and you're hearing this and it's resonating, you can check out businessbuilderthrowdown.com/community or /ninjas to find out more. We have a 3-week free trial, so the decision is really easy.
That's awesome. That's awesome. You know, and as far as helping businesses that feel like they've been isolated, having troubles gaining clarity, Nancy, Baki, you're amazing at that. And so, but that's also part of really being authentic and building that community to help your business, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And I really love what Holly just said right now. She just said, helping those that really need the pandemic just kind of hurt so many businesses out there.
yes.
And I think it's so special that we each find a way to give back to the world somehow. It doesn't have
Yes.
to be just financially, just we have so
Yes.
much value already inside of us. So much information, and these businesses, they're looking for that information. They need that help, and it's just that little
Yes.
tweak, that little extra strategy that they do can literally, put more food on their table as a. So I love that, and yes, community. It's actually the reason why I'm opening this networking group. I love, like where we met, Russ. I love it. It's actually the only networking group that I go to be honest. I have two. And it's really because it's loving people, working together. And it's all about, how can I help you succeed? How can I, what do you need? Who do I know that can link you up?
Yes.
And they all work together, really. And I think when we put our hearts and we just think, okay, why are we on this earth? Is it just to make a lot of money? No. There's like a lot more things to do in this world. And we just have to find that special gift that we each have and just give it away.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, you are so true there. And, it's interesting because as we build community, it's been amazing that there's no borders, there's no parameters on how we can go online here building this community. We had, the Global Tea Break was started by our good friend D. Scott Smith and Alan Hennessy, one in Dublin, Ireland, one here in Oregon. And we just had Wendy Stunt, a good friend of mine and of the Global Tea Break, and she's in Dublin, and she's on the show today. So it's amazing how this connection and this community knows no borders. And
Yes.
Maria, you have done something that is, I think, that Nancy talked about being the queen of engagement. You've done something that is simple but is so important, and that is staying engaged in the comments and always reaching out to people and doing things and showing up on What's Good Wednesday, and I mean Shout Out
Yes.
Saturday and all that stuff.
Yes.
You show up. And
Yes.
so tell everybody, in this time where you at the moment aren't working outside of this, what are you doing really to engage and to build up where you're headed in the future?
Um, so basically, you just show your genuine and sincere interest in what people do, because you never know. One day, maybe you'll have a change of heart, and looking for other things to do aside from your daily work. So just show genuine and sincere interest. Let's say, for example, if somebody is coaching or mentoring, find out who are they mentoring or coaching. Is it for women, men, teens, and then the age bracket? Like, there's a lot of commonalities among people, especially here on LinkedIn. And then also, building communities, you have to find things in your neighborhood that you can do, or you can volunteer your time. Um, with me, I work from home. A lot of people are like wondering, like, how do you do it? You work, and at the same time, you keep on engaging. I'm entitled to so many breaks. So my break would be go on my phone, look at LinkedIn, who posted something, and if it resonates with me, then go ahead and make that comment. But on my comments, they're very personalized, like really at that moment, who made that post, how it resonated with me, like what value I can bring in, or what value I got from that post. So I didn't know that by engaging, like, people would follow you, follow you, follow you. And until one time somebody brought it to my attention, like, ooh, how did you do that? And I didn't even know that was what I was doing. So basically, that's how it is. Like, you build communities in so many different forms and in so many different ways. Like right now, we're building communities. Like, I don't know of personally Holly and Nancy too, but I'm glad to be here. And now I know both of them. Like, I'm very curious with the little ninja, and also the networking that Nancy too will be starting or reviving. So yeah, so that's
Well,
basically, yeah.
and you are doing one of the most simple things, like I said, that is the most important. And you're being personally, being authentic, you're paying attention, you're showing people that you care about them. And you talk about not all of you knowing each other. This is one of my favorite thing on shows like this, is bringing people together and building community by people meeting each other. And it's always fun to meet first online when you get going. A while back, I had a gentleman reach out on a show, and he goes, "Hey, anybody that wants to jump online, I'm about to go live." And I'd never met him. I jumped on his live show, and we just met and talked, and it was fabulous. And it's amazing through the medium of live streaming or just being online, LinkedIn, whatever, how much of a difference you can make. And
Yes.
so I'm going to bounce back to you, Nancy Barrows, real quickly, and talk about on the radiating reel. This is, when people have causes or they have specific things like that that really resonates with people, I think that it makes such a huge difference. I know that when I first had COVID and I decided to join in, mostly just to encourage people, that, hey, we're all going through this and it's great, right? We can all make it. It's okay. But the thousands of people that reached out to me, amazing, amazing. And so I know you've seen just a huge impact in that.
And it was bigger than I ever expected, which is usually the way things go, because so many people embraced it, and then we're sharing it with other people. And it really came from my own experience. And for the first time in my life, my commitment, being 100% committed to showing up 100% real and me 100% of the time, and how that was transformative for me. And that was a pretty new step for me, but it was transformative for me. And I didn't realize that the little bit that I was keeping back from the world in terms of my story, just not telling it publicly, how much weight it had until I let it out into the world. And I let people see me for who, love, thank you, see me as who I am, flawed and all. I put in the comments, I have been on Russ's show in my bathrobe. I mean, it just, there was a morning he needed someone. He reached out. I said, if you don't mind me being in my bathrobe. He said, I don't mind. And I showed up in my bathrobe, right? Because that's life. That is how life happens. Life isn't pretty and scripted. Life is a roller coaster, and we're all on it together. And the Radiating Real movement was about taking off those masks, because we only know what we see on the surface. We only meet each other at a certain point in each of our journeys and stories. So unless we are willing to take off our mask and show our human, and it started with taking a picture the second you woke up, right? With your bed head, no makeup, the whole thing, go for it. And be honest, say, talk about, this was really hard. I'm terrified to post this. I can't believe, tell what's going on, because you are not the only one that feels that. And the second someone else reads it and it resonates with them, you've had impact. You have changed someone's life. There have been more people that say, like, oh my gosh, me too, or I'm in the same space, or oh my gosh, like, I can exhale, right? Because everybody's out there and they're making it look easy, and thank you. It's somebody saying it's not, right? And that's huge to all of us. And we are literally killing one another by putting up this perfect life and wearing this mask on social media. And it's time to just, like I said, we are all living life. We know how snotty and unsexy and ugly it can be. And when we allow ourselves to share it with others, going back to the whole give, you receive more than you give, man, oh man, do you ever, right? And you giving so much, giving others permission to show up real, showing them it's okay, giving them support. But in return, so many people have given me more than I could have imagined in the support for Radiating Real, and given back to me by telling me how it has changed their lives. And so Radiating Real is near and dear to my heart, because it was a project that came from my doing just that and taking that leap here on LinkedIn. I mean, I told my story. In my story is pretty long and pretty hard to receive, but my first live on LinkedIn, which was a week after I got on LinkedIn, I was doing a telethon to raise money for a platform that was about true connection. And I was talking about my childhood trauma. And I realized in the moment, like, Nancy, you are part of the problem. If you won't say the words, how do you expect anyone else to talk about sexual abuse? And without thinking, my story was out there. I was sexually abused by my grandfather till I was 16 years old, the eating disorder, the dropping out of school. And it was my Radiating Real moment. And the positive feedback I got for being me, because as in my adult self, I don't fear this as much, but as my younger self, it was like, I'm going to say this and people are going to look at me differently. They're going to be disgusted by me. They're going to run. But it wasn't. It was so opposite. It was such the embrace, the warm embrace that is community. And that's what we're here, building community. If I stand up here, or get on a show and talk about how great my life is and miss all that middle part that I struggle with, if it were me and I was my 20-year-old self watching me, I would not relate to me at all. Right? It's not real. You don't get it. You don't understand. You couldn't possibly relate to what I'm going through. But when we put ourselves out there as real, first of all, we take away imposter syndrome, and we give that place to others to say, okay, I can connect to you, which means your story, your words, whatever you share is meaningful and powerful to me. And we all have a meaningful, impactful, powerful story to share. Even if you don't think you do, you do. because there's somebody else
And,
who needs to hear it and will benefit from it.
and that's so true, because the whole thing is life can be great in spite of the challenges we have, because that's a choice we make. We know that I'm the live the life you choose guy.
Mm-hmm.
And I always say life happens and then you choose, because a lot of stuff happens. It's not good, that we have to deal with situations. And so through the building community and through all the different movements going on, I love the ninja movement, Holly, and I need to get my ninja.
I know, it's so cute.
So are you guys specifically reaching out to, I forget, a certain particular segment you were reaching out to with that community, right?
Originally, we were targeting health and wellness businesses because we wanted to serve frontline workers during the pandemic. And now we're opening it up to pretty much all business owners and entrepreneurs, because we want to be able to serve as many people as possible. And in our community, we have so many resources, because there's 3 of us leading this movement. There's Matt Rouse, which ironically, since we have Maria Rouse here, I was like, that's confusing. We have Matt Rouse and D. Scott Smith. They're my other co-hosts, and they help me run this mastermind, this beautiful community. And because we know the negative comparison and despair that social media creates, we use Marco Polo with our community specifically for connection between meetings, so people can go deeper in community without that compare and despair, without the mask, without the filter. We're very real in that community. We have fun, but we also talk about specific problems that people are facing. And I guess relating to taking that mask off and being vulnerable, it's interesting to me when we become leaders in these positions and we're on these shows. A lot of people have said to me, "Oh, your book just launched. You must be on cloud 9." And it's really hard for me to be honest and say, I'm not right now. Like, honestly, life has thrown me some really difficult cards in the last 3 weeks. And it's been difficult for me to actually celebrate and receive the gifts of launching that book. And so, because we're holding real authentic space here, I'm just sharing that, yes, I launched a book. Yes, it was successful. Yes, it's well received, and it's changed so many lives already. So I've already hit that goal. But at the same time, life continues, and it throws you these curveballs that just sucker punch you to the gut, and we're all human. So even though Russ is here and all these amazing women are here, we're still human, and we have to remind ourselves, I'm not Superwoman. Sometimes I think that I am, but it takes people around you lifting you up. And Matt and Scott are my brothers in business, and they know everything, everything in my life. When I'm falling apart, they know. I've had calls where I am sobbing on the phone with them, where I am freaking out about this next pivot in my business, and they're there for me. So that's what we're building, so that it's real.
Yeah, I think that people forget there's a lot of stresses in real life that go into everything we're doing, and that we're not always on the top of the world. And part of what you, Nancy Baki, put together with helping people is really having a realistic, authentic look at what they're doing. And you just got such a heart for community when you and I first met, that, your whole approach helps people in and through all that they're doing, and just to be better.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, again, I think we are in a world where it's really about giving. If if we don't know what to give, just call somebody. They'll know they listen to you and hear you all the time. I mean, for me, I believe that, even if I'm helping businesses, those that, we'll call it, don't have the funds to grow their business, we just have to find other ways to just give them a little strategy that they can utilize. Just to, I had one yesterday. I just taught her, go networking, do your little pitch, and she came out today and she was like, oh my gosh, actually I was afraid to network. She went in, they created a landing page last night with the messaging. It took them a few hours. Her and her husband, I tagged along a little bit on messages, and that little change just brought them, 8 or 9 different people that are going to go in their drip campaign and get some free anxiety. What is it? They were getting something that they need to do on a daily basis to help their anxiety. I said, what can you give to this world? And it's so important to be able to find whatever. I have another friend also who we literally just met a few weeks ago. I call her a friend because I think everybody that I meet becomes a friend.
Absolutely.
Like Russ, I just met you maybe 2-3 months ago, but I feel closer to you than I have with some people that I've known for years because I get to talk to you on a regular basis,
Right.
And like I said in the beginning, I think every person we meet, no matter they have money, no money, as long as they have the heart, the heart is something really, really important. They all have that special something, even if they don't see it themselves, we see it.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, speaking of great hearts, Maria, give us your last words and just what you want everybody to remember from this community builder discussion.
Well, it's from my paperweight. It's reminding me every day life is a journey, not a destination. So we all have our own journeys, and I'm not here to compete with anybody. I'm here just to hopefully inspire and also help in my own little ways. So uh, that was it. And yes, we have moments of post commenting, joking, and everything. When I had my Zoom call with Carl Sean Watkins, I think he's in the comments. I
Yep.
saw him.
Yep.
He was like, Maria, isn't that you get, or do you feel like you get free therapy? Sometimes you don't even think that you needed therapy, and then you show up on whoever shows or whoever currently or was live. It's not that you feel you get free therapy. And I'm like, come to think of it, and I was like thinking, yeah, it makes sense. Like, especially when you have situations in life, present or past, that resonated with you, you relive a little bit, but um, you don't comment or you don't cry while you comment. It feels so great, like, oh, I was able to do that and I was able to say it. So you get that, and then also you feel appreciated when people reach out to you, page you. Nancy will sometimes paging Maria Rouse, like, forgive me, yesterday was my daughter's birthday, so I was like, oh my God, what's Good Wednesday? I forgot. Like,
You
I
know,
was
I do not accept apologies for being human, so never apologize for being human.
and then Saturday, sometimes she would be like, shout out Saturday. And I'm like, Mom, day is Saturday, Sunday, driving my child, from different point of destination. So you feel very appreciated and welcomed by everybody.
Right.
Like, you don't even know them in person, you know them virtually like this. And I was like, oh my God. And then you get a lot of tips, like parenting and all other life situations. Like, it's like dummies for LinkedIn.
Right.
So I was like, okay, like, I'm gonna do that next time. And like right now, Russ is like, please join for live. And I'm like, what are we gonna talk about? Like, do you have questions that I can study ahead of time? And he was like, we're just gonna talk about building communities. And I'm like, okay, but okay, Russ, I have notes. You see,
Okay.
this is radiating real, Nancy.
Yes, it is.
It
Thank you for
is.
sharing.
I have notes. I am old school, notebook. So
Well,
yeah,
you are
that's me.
you're naturally this way, and that's why I love having you on, and all of you, because you guys are all community builders. You all care about people. You love people. You're out there to support and help them. And we have to wrap things up. I've actually let it go over, but I want to make sure that everybody can get in touch with you. So we're going to start off. We're just going to go right back to Maria, let everybody know how they get in touch with you, and then we'll bounce back to Nancy.
You'll see me in the comments most of the time, and I think I'm the only Maria Rouse on LinkedIn, so it's easy to find out. Um, There's a lot of Marias I know, but I'm the only Maria Rouse. So,
And
and
LinkedIn
a
is your
pleasure to
best
meet Nancy
platform.
too, and Holly. I'm gonna connect, promise. And air
All right.
hugs.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. Virtual hugs. Nancy, you're up. How do people get in touch with you if they don't already know? They should, because Brian has been putting like everything about your
Isn't
entire
it?
life in the comments.
It's teamwork. It's all about teamwork. None of us does this alone. And that's an important thing if you're watching. None of us does this alone. It's not meant to be done alone. So if you're giving yourself grief and beating yourself up because you can't do it alone, no, I'm here telling you, radiating real, it takes a village to remind me, to do, to have, to show up, all of that stuff. The easiest way to find me is actually, if I can do it and get it to focus, is to scan that QR.
Ah, that's so nice and handy. I want one.
There you go. It's that QR code, and that's the linked tree, which will have all of the social medias. And there's Brian Schulman that we were talking about, who's been in the comments, who co-hosts the show with me, or I co-host with him. It's his show, and he lets me show up, quite frankly. I showed up, and he didn't make me go away, is the story. So that's the best way to get a hold of me. I'm most active on LinkedIn, and I think I am the only Nancy Barrows. And the piece I want to leave people with, again, is that we're all capable. We all have the power to impact another life. And sharing our stories, sharing ourselves, is all it takes, is to show up. Right?
Yes.
You don't have to have any special skills. You don't have to be trained. You just show up and be you. And as I say, our knowledge becomes wisdom when we share it with others. So go share your knowledge and teach what you know to others.
Yes.
You know, I love those QR codes, by the way, Nancy, because when you started doing that with Brian, I immediately got I had a client that I'm working with. It was like, hey, can we put a QR code in our ads? So we started using QR codes in our stuff too.
Awesome.
And send everybody to that. It's kind of cool. So, all right, Holly, you're next. Tell everybody how to get a hold of you.
Yeah, I don't have
ninja.
All right, if you're interested in the ninja, send me a message. Connect with me on LinkedIn. It's Holly J. Jackson, because there's another Holly Jackson out there. Holly J. Jackson at LinkedIn, message me, and I can connect you with the private owner who makes our ninjas. So we're supporting an owner in Canada, in Nova Scotia specifically, who makes our ninjas. Also, if you want to hear more about the Business Builder Throwdown or the Business Builder Mastermind, go to businessbuilder.com. To find me, go to hollyjeanjackson.com, connect with me on LinkedIn. And one last quick shameless plug here. If you want to learn more about the Unmasked Holly and my intimate, detailed stories of my health journey, you can buy a copy of Inspiration Contagion, where I share extremely vulnerable stories about my health journey and how I overcame a lot of different obstacles. You can find that on Amazon or Kindle.
Yes, and I
found you, Holly.
Okay, good. Yes, and obviously Nova Scotia. So Matt went from my part of the world up to Canada, up to the which is Nancy's part of the world. Nancy's up there in Canada. And speaking of Nancy, Baki, you're up next. How do people get in touch with you?
And I'm in Montreal. How do they get in touch? Well, LinkedIn, Nancy Baki, Baki. I am the only Nancy Baki there. If anybody wants, I actually complimentary give my first book away. bescoaching.com. Just go download it. It won't cost you a penny. It's a short book. I call it a little thick business card. Gives you about 8 strategies, no cost strategies. Take a look at it. Send me a message. What I love is to be able to interview experienced business owners, give you a whole heap of, that's the 7 p.m. thing, a whole heap and caboodle awesome strategies. And one thing I just want to leave with you guys, I believe that in life, it's about creating a balance between work and life.
Yes.
And if we don't do that, and we just think about living to work instead of working to live, we got some work that we got to do, because life is not about just making money. It's really about love. It's about family. It's about growing. It's about helping others. So that's one thing. And one of my mottos is 20% of what you do in your business must bring you 80% of your revenue. And if that's not what's currently happening, I suggest get on a call with me, send me a message, and we'll take it from there.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you so much. And yes, I love that. Say that to me one more time. The live part. What was that quote you just gave?
Absolutely. So it's my belief is to work to live
There
and
you
not
go.
to live to work.
To work.
There you go. I got to write that down. Work to live, don't live to work. Okay. All right. So awesome. Okay. Scooting on, and Maria. Oh, you already actually gave your information, didn't you? So
Yes.
I've actually made the round. So we are
Yes.
good to go. And listen, I appreciate you ladies so much. I really do. This has been a fabulous discussion. The comments are still just rolling in. So I appreciate everybody here. And of course, Tim joined in, and Bill got in here later. And so thanks everybody for joining in today and
Thank you.
being so active. And Brian has been like the comment king
Blasting the
throughout the entire
comments.
show.
Yes.
What we do, it's what we do. It's funny. We had someone comment about like how we were doing all this shameless tagging, and Maria hit the nail on the head. And this is what I said to the person who put it in there: is it's actually not. It's to remind people that they're seen, heard, and missed, and valued, and noticed. And that's why we do what we do. That's why we page. That's why we tag, because you're part of our family, and we always want you to feel that way.
Yeah. I actually
Right.
had a session with Nancy first on what proper words to use and to say prior to attending your live, Russ. No, I'm just kidding. No,
You
I'm
don't
totally
need me, love.
kidding.
You don't need me, love. You just be you.
But yeah, that's
Nan-
how I felt. I felt appreciated when she was like tagging. I'm like, oh no, Nancy. And then Brian Schulman's the same. Oh no. And then Tim's on is the same. Oh no. Okay, I'll be right there. So yeah.
Russ, I wanted to
Well-
say thank you to you, and thank you to you guys too. So nice to meet you guys. Looking forward to linking in and getting to know each other and sending business your way. You know, you guys are all have beautiful hearts, and I love that. Thank you, Russ.
Yep. Thank you, everybody.
Yes,
Thanks.
thank you all so much. Hey, I'm going to send you to the green room for just a second, but hang tight while I wrap things up. Thank you so much again. Takes a minute to get everybody out after that. So, okay, I love discussions like this, especially with so much engagement and people just really, really, getting involved in the community. And that's what this is all about. We're talking community building. We're talking people just loving each other, helping each other out, collaborating together, spending time. And thank you, everybody. Hashtag 1000 thanks for taking the time to be here today. That hashtag, we started it back on around Thanksgiving. Wasn't my doing, but it came about on the Experience Live with Russ and Scott, at least the latest version. And Nancy and Brian on their shows have been so good, and so many of you have been good on spreading that. Keep it going, because we need the hashtag 1000 thanks movement to remind people to just continue to be thankful. Just continue to be thankful for each other, for community, and just be out there and be taking care of each other. And this world is not as big as you think when it comes to things like this, the digital community. I want to thank you all again for being here today, and I'm going to wrap things up. And you know what? If you need to just have more encouragement, every Monday and Thursday, Marketing with Russ, aka hashtag Russ Selfie, 8 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Every Wednesday, 7 a.m. Pacific Standard Time is the Experience Live with Russ and Scott. And Russ Reels Live rolls around, and you can find that on all my social media. And thanks so much again, everybody. Until we see you again, have a great day and a great life. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.